Hey guys, welcome back to Treadmill Review Guru. I'm Sydney and today we're reviewing the Climber. It has a unique design, there's subscription content on the touchscreen, and it works your body in a vertical position. But how did it perform for us? Is it effective? Let's find out. So diving into the overall construction on the Climber. So its footprint is 88 inches high, 35 inches deep, and 32 inches wide. It actually takes up a pretty small amount of floor space, especially comparing it to a treadmill or most ellipticals. It does require at least an 8-foot high ceiling, however, to use. And it weighs 180 pounds. Yet it's actually pretty easy to move around. So it has front transportation wheels on the front part of the floor stabilizers, so you can tilt it and move it around actually pretty easily. And with the frame, this is a unique design. So it has these two beams, whereas most climbers have just a singular beam and then the handles are connected on either side, and same with the pedals, to where you kind of then are, I guess, forced to kind of straddle and then look at the beam, where this just has a really nice, open, kind of airy type of feel, especially when you're on it, and it uses this touchscreen, which is also unique to climbers. So it just has a really nice, it also has a sturdy feel. We didn't experience any rocking or anything when we were on it, even when we're sprinting, so you can actually move fairly quickly on it when you're climbing. It does have adjustable leveling feet at the bottom of the floor stabilizer, so you can make sure you plant it to the floor. And it has a 350-pound weight capacity, so it can handle users up to that size, and that's a pretty fair weight capacity that we see in a lot of different fitness equipment. So moving on to the pedals. So the pedals are this oval shape, and then they have this texture to help keep your foot secure. They also have these adjustable straps over top that just hook over the straps of your feet, so you can just slide your feet right in, and they feel secure. You actually don't need the straps to, and you don't want them to be super tight. The instructors on the screen go over that. You can technically flip them over and use them without, but we recommend using the foot straps just because you get a little bit more secure. You just feel more secure using the Climber that way. One thing that I did notice, so I wear a women's size 7, and my feet take up pretty much the entire length of these pedals. Our taller reviewers, their heels were hanging off a little bit. It didn't affect them using the Climber and its performance or anything like that. They're still able to push from kind of more the center of their foot, which is what you want. And there's also videos of LeBron James using it. I just noticed his heels kind of hang off a little bit. So just something to be aware of. It doesn't affect any of the performance, but just something that we noticed in our testing. So the handles are probably one of my favorite things about the Climber. So you have these moving handles here. These move in conjunction with the pedals. So when you're going, they move together. So once the handles start moving or the pedals start moving, they move. And this is also something to be aware of when you step up on. I usually try to have one of the pedals lower to be able to hop on, and then I can grab a handle because they do move when you get on. So if you do have maybe mobility issues or balance issues, this is just something to be aware of, that once you step on it, the pedals will move once you move them, and same with the handles. So with these handles, they adjust in 1-inch increments. So users of kind of a variety of heights can adjust them to be able to fit them. So Climber claims that users from 4'11" up to 7 feet can use the Climber. Our reviewers, we range from, I'm the shortest, I'm about 5 foot, maybe 5'1" wearing shoes. And then our tallest reviewer is 6'5", and we were all able to adjust the handles to fit perfectly, and we were all able to use the Climber without any issues. There are extending handles, so if you're over 6'4", maybe 6'4" up to 7 feet, you can also purchase those extenders separately to be able to get even more reach. So with these moving handles, they offer 3 different grip options. So you can grip overhand, underhand, and neutral. Plus with this button, you can fold them up and be able to really focus on targeted lower body training. There are also stationary handles, so if you fold those up, and then you have your dip bars here that you can grip onto, plus there's handles in the crossbar that you can overhand and underhand grip. And these are I was kind of surprised by them. I didn't realize they were there until I started taking classes and then noticed, oh, there's an extra pair of handles. So it was just a nice surprise, and they're really handy. With all of these different options, you can target your muscles differently and you really get that total body workout that is high intensity, low impact, and just a really great cardio workout that's actually really intense. With the reach, so when you are using the moving handles, the maximum reach is 20 inches. So when you hop on, and I'll show you in that functionality section, you can adjust the amount of reach you want. So you can go shorter, you can go longer. I know for me, being just about 5 foot, my max reach is kind of 15, 16 inches. That's kind of the most I can get. So it's nice to have that extra bit. And 20 inches definitely kind of seems to be it's definitely more on par with other climbers like the Versa climber and even the Cascade climber. It's kind of similar max reaches, so it definitely gives you enough of that range to work with. And then the climber does use magnetic resistance. Something to be aware of is that it does make a little bit of noise, and I will show that in the functionality section. We'll demonstrate that for you. But here is the resistance knob, and it changes from resistance 1 up to resistance 11. And with this knob, you can actually feel and hear those increments as you're changing, and then you'll be able to see what resistance you're at on the screen, but it's nice to be able to kind of feel it so you kind of can gauge where you're at. Definitely going from resistance 1 to resistance 11, you can definitely notice a difference. 1 kind of feels like there's no resistance, and 11 definitely feels like there is resistance. Something that we did notice is that when you are at that max resistance, it's not a huge amount of resistance. So you're not going to be like really climbing and really having a lot of resistance to work with, but really frankly, I just don't think you need it on this machine. Just the nature of it, it's already a challenging workout whether you have a lot of resistance on or not, and especially with all the versatility that you get with being able to just adjust your position just slightly to be able to target your muscles differently. You don't really need a lot of resistance, but just something to be aware of when you do hit the 11. You may be expecting a lot of tension, and it's not quite as much as like we've experienced on other ellipticals. So the climber is covered with a 1-year warranty, which is a little bit more less extensive than other equipment that we've seen. They do, however, offer a white glove delivery, so they'll have someone come in and set it up for you, make sure it's set up correctly. So that is really nice to have that white glove delivery. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We create these videos for you guys so you can see how different fitness equipment works before you take it home. So now let's check out the functionality of the climber. So getting on, as I mentioned, just something to be aware of, it is helpful having these stationary handles. So I usually try to have one of the pedals at the lowest, and then once I'm on, I can then kind of adjust them, but as I said before, the pedals and the moving handles work in conjunction with each other. So I'm just going to start at the lowest resistance and let you hear it first, and then I'll kind of explain a few other things. So this is level 1 resistance. This is level 5. And this is resistance 11, which is the highest. down. So as you can see, the climber does make a little bit of noise. It might not be best for some shared spaces, so just something to keep in mind. You do get a lot of variability with your workouts with this machine. It's also challenging. I'm also a little out of breath just from doing that. So as you're going, you can adjust to have a really short stride like this, which my reach right here is only about 7 inches. And then I can go longer. So here I'm at about 14 inches, maybe 15. So I can go short, I can do those sprints. I can also use different handles and these handles. So you get so much versatility. Plus, I noticed if you just adjust your position just a little bit differently, like you can sink your hips back to target more of your posterior chain. And then it is nice to have these stationary handles when you're getting on and off the climber. But overall, it does make noise, but it is a very effective workout. So now our tallest reviewer, Matthew, who is 6'5", is going to hop on the climber. Here he is at resistance 1. Resistance 5. And the max resistance, which is 11. And here he is going at a faster pace with a more medium resistance. All right, so diving in, checking out the screen, the content, and the overall console. So this is a 21-inch touchscreen, and it is pretty thin. It's also really clear. I'm able to see everything really clearly. The graphics are super crisp, and it is mounted on these 2 beams here, and it can be adjusted either kind of closer up to you or further away. It doesn't necessarily tilt, however, so it doesn't really tilt up. That would be a nice addition to see in the future, especially for our taller users, just to be able to tilt it up a little bit to see it a little bit more clearly. Our 6'5" reviewer, who's our tallest reviewer, didn't have any problems once he was in position being able to see the screen. This would just be a nice addition to see in the future. Moving on, so there is a little bit of storage, which is nice. So there is a tiny little lip here that serves as a device holder. So you can place your phone, tablet, or a book on it and be able to read or stream whatever content you want. So this is great if you want either a break from the subscription content, or if you don't want to subscribe to the content on the screen, you have options down here to be able to kind of watch whatever you want when you're on the climber. There's also a cup holder, so the cup holder can be placed on either side pretty easily, so whichever you prefer, the right or left. It's just made out of plastic, but it holds pretty much a standard like 22-ounce water bottle just fine. That's what my water bottle is. But it is just made out of plastic and is a little bit flimsy. So moving on to the screen and the content. So this is the premium subscription. So that with the premium subscription, you get access to all the content on the screen. There are, I think, over 500 on-demand classes to choose from. There are multiple different instructors, which they refer to them as guides, that guide you through. All the classes are filmed indoors. There's also competitions, which is fun, so you can go in and race other members and see kind of where you stack up. So you can do like a 30-second race, you can do a 50-foot climb or 500 feet climb and see where you stack up. And then, so this is your home page. You can also go into Explore and be able to filter the different classes. So there's the filter here. You can adjust it by the guide, the duration, difficulty, class type, also the genre of music. So something that I really like about the Climber is that in the classes, they're filmed like regular studio classes where the music is integrated in. So when you go in, you can take like a specific music genre class. Like they have like this Ed Sheeran class that'll just play Ed Sheeran songs. And so it's fun. And I feel like that adds to the overall energy of the class when you're able to listen to the music how the instructor intends. So let's go into a class. And also when you preview a class, you can kind of get a little bit of idea of what it's like. And then I'll also have this little diagram here to show you what parts of your body that you're going to work, which when you're on the Climber, it is a total body workout. So most of the workouts are pretty total body, but some of them kind of target muscles differently, especially if you're using like the stationary handles. So once this comes up, you'll get a little introduction. And over here, I do have the volume muted for right now, but you can adjust either the buttons on the side or here. So you can adjust the volume to either hear more of the trainer's voice or the music volume, or you can kind of balance it or mute one or the other. So that's a nice option to have. So once you're going, you'll see your different metrics. You have kind of your estimated calories. You also have your reach, which is in inches, and it'll usually give you, once you're going, you'll see a range. So maybe you'll start with like a range of 5 to 7, and then the instructor will have you go longer to maybe over 10 inches with that reach. And then they'll also give you a tempo. And what's fun is those two will highlight in green when you are at the recommended level, and then it'll kind of tell you to either up your tempo or go a little bit slower if you're not quite in the range that, God, now I'm obviously not on it. So it's highlighted in yellow just to kind of encourage you to, okay, I need to get to that at least 7 inches or over for that reach, and at least get to the 60 to 70 for my tempo. Plus it'll show your power, your distance, and then when you're climbing over here, it'll show you your current feet per minute that you're climbing. And really, we were overall really surprised with the overall quality of the Climber subscription. The classes and the instructors are just super engaging and really fun. I feel like it just adds to the overall experience on the Climber. Thanks for watching our review of the Climber. Some things to keep in mind is that the Climber does make a little bit of noise, so it might not be best in some spaces. Also, it just comes with a 1-year warranty, and it doesn't fold up. This is how it stays, and it requires at least an 8-foot tall ceiling to use. We really like that the Climber provides a total body, high intensity yet low impact workout. It works your body in that vertical position, which keeps you in a neutral spine. So it not only gives you a really challenging cardio workout and works your entire body, but it helps you improve your posture as well when you're in that position. Plus, on the 21-inch touchscreen, there is subscription content and there's trainer-led classes. The classes are really engaging, especially with the instructors to follow along with, and it really keeps you engaged when you're using the Climber. Also, there is a wide variety of handles to do targeted training. There are the moving handles, and these adjust in 1-inch increments to be able to accommodate kind of users of a wide variety of heights. Plus, they offer multiple different grip options, and then with the stationary handles, you can do a lot of lower body targeted training as well. And the Climber overall has a pretty compact footprint. It takes up significantly less space than a treadmill and also most ellipticals. So it really takes up more minimal floor space, which is really nice. So thanks for watching our review of the Climber. You can head to treadmillreviewguru.com to read our full written review, where there's even more details there in case I've missed any. And you can check the link in the description for the current pricing. And if you like this video and find it helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. That way you can check out more of these reviews so you can see how different fitness equipment works before you bring it home. I'm Sydney with Treadmill Review Guru. I'll see you next time.